so real within the memories I keep. But it's so hard now. It's so hard now.
In the 1980s, we would often leave our road, go down a main road on the Woodbank estate, and head out to a place between a canal feeder and the River Irwell, and we'd play around on pedal bicycles. And there was also a place where you could actually get blackberries. It's now the site of the Burrs Country Park, and that's where we're headed this morning. We start off by going up the Boundsome Road, but in a moment there you should be turning right to head up towards the entrance to the Burrs Country Park. And here we are. Interestingly enough, I used to sometimes walk our whippets along here as part of the going around the block big time style to give them exercise. We've got our fat. Just come round the corner for it. There's a play park, I think it was there in embryonic form back in the 1980s, and we would come down. I can't remember if there was a shortcut to this or not, but this is the official route. Comes down here to the country park. Here is a sign welcoming us to the Burrs Country Park as it is now. Again, there's the play park for context. There used to be a very large mill, but it was pulled down, and I think when I was here in 2002 only the factory chimney remained. Looks like the factory chimney is still there. I could see something colourful moving in the distance, don't know what it is, but we're going to see if we can head down to the weir that we used to go to on our bikes. We would used to go over, and there is the canal feeder. It's got some algae on it now. That walkway up there, I don't know if it was there in our time. We used to come along here, but it's now overgrown. So I think there was some kind of shortcut to down here, rather than the way we've gone now. And we head along here, or we headed along here in those days. We've just come along this small trackway, and that fence has been put in. Looks like we won't be able to get to the weir that we used to in those days, and it's become impassable. So what we're going to do is head back over the bridge and follow the road officially. This is the bridge. We couldn't cross this time, and cross the other side of the river. You mustn't jump or bathe in. There is the river continuing, the River Irwell, and that is the factory chimney, still left in place long after the factory is gone. This sculpture from 2002 looked like a big mouse trap. Picnic area, it says there. Perhaps they don't like visitors that much. Halfway along here, I don't know if it'll take us to the old weir that we used to visit. We'll have a look and see how far we can get. Sculptures was also here in 2002, if I remember correctly, and I think by the looks of it we may be back on track to get to the weir part that we used to go to. Continuing along this avenue of trees, again the feeder canal is beside us, and it's blanketed by a lot of algae. In the corner, and the algae seems to have disappeared. You can hear the river on the other side. What I might try and do is, when we there was a place we could cross to get over this bit of river, and I try and return back to the main part of the park over on that part, because this trackway is very muddy. This is the weir we used to go to. There's a stepped part and there's a sloped part. I think there was a reason for having it done like this, but I can't remember what it was, if I was ever told. And of course the river then came down along there. In the distance, someone kayaking. Must be very brave, because I saw them come right close to this. Now I'm going to try and return back this way. One part of the weir we never got to see in the 1980s, this bit here, because it was very difficult crossing the river. And of course it's now flowing pretty fast at this point, but it does slow down and get filled with algae. Climb is also a bit muddy as well. Sweep around and head along this track here, along this field. On this plateau we see that, I saw this from the railway line the other day, there's a caravan site here. And also in the distance you can see a wind generator, which I've been able to see from the hotel. The trackway here appears to go back to the car park, as I suspected. We weren't able to do this in the 1980s, walk along this way. Well, I'm not sure if we could those days, or even in 2002, to think about it. Down here in Burrs Country Park is the Brown Cow, which is quite a was a well-known pub in those days. I think still is. Down from the Brown Cow pub, we have an activity centre, which appears to be a residential one, and is not open to the public. We are back at the bridge over the River Irwell, and that kind of concludes our very brief tour of Burrs Country Park.